Welcome back to Horns High Studios for another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. That means each one of these episodes is less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds. So let's get right to it. But before we do not forget to like this video. Drop a comment below with your ideas and thoughts. It helps the video get out there to more people. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider doing that before you leave today. It helps the channel grow, and I do appreciate that. Now, it's important to remember with this video, this is for informational purposes only. These are just my opinions and speculation. I'm not an expert. I'm just using some good common sense to analyze this case. And I'm not saying anyone is guilty of anything. All of what I discuss is alleged. All right? Now, for this episode, I'd like to discuss a story that was recently in the news that's more about frat violence at the University of Idaho. What in the heck is going on over there? Now, this isn't a video about the Idaho Ford directly, but indirectly, I do feel there's definitely some things that will ring true. So keep on watching. You'll see what I mean. Now, some of you may have heard about this one. It involves the University of Idaho student Timmy Reid, and there was an incident at his home in Moscow where he was having a party on February 10th of this year. Now, Timmy is a senior civil engineering student and a member of the Beta Theta Pi fraternity. Now, allegedly, according to Timmy's attorney, Tim Gresbeck, there was a social event. I guess that's what they call parties nowadays. And more than 40 people showed up who were not invited. And they show up around 10:30 p.m. Timmy thought they were members of the Vandals football team, but what was scary is these guys were wearing masks and showed up with PVC pipes in their hand. That is definitely not a good thing. I mean, these guys were not showing up to make some s'mores and sing by the campfire, okay? So allegedly, things get heated up pretty quickly. Timmy gets sucker punched, knocked backwards, hits his head on the asphalt, pretty nasty lump on the back of his head, split his back of his head open a little bit. He ends up with a broken nose, a black eye, and a concussion from hitting his head. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but with all those big dudes with pipes, but you know, they could have really done some much more harm than already was done, but certainly not good, okay? Now, it's believed that the football player showed up to get some revenge for an incident that happened a week earlier at a different location. One of the other frat members from Beta Theta Pi got into it with a football player. So typical males with too much testosterone getting out of control over some stupid high school nonsense. I mean, seriously, guys. The Moscow PD says they're looking into that incident as well. We'll see about that. Now, the university statement on the issue is very long-winded, and I'm going to spare you all of that, a bunch of stuff about codes of conduct and all of that, but it ends with this phrase, quote, "We have faith in the Moscow Police Department to follow their processes of investigation," unquote. I've read that a few times and I laugh every time I read it. Now, what's crazy in this story is that Timmy Reid is a fifth-generation Vandal. His father, Nick Reid, donated thousands for Vandal football scholarships. He's even the vice president of the Booster Club that raises money for the team. Nick Reid pulled his funding, though, for this big summer fest, apparently some big fundraising event they do, and they ended up canceling it because of this. So what a total mess. Way to go, University of Idaho Vandals. Wow. Now, this isn't the first athletic department problem. There have been others involving some serious things, such as the volleyball coach by the name of Gonzalez, who was fired amidst some body shaming, reckless driving the team to games. I mean, what is going on over there? Even the name Vandal for the team name is kind of odd, isn't it? I mean, it's not like a cool bird, or it's a vandal, like just what you think it is, okay? Now, there are also lots of ties to the athletic department when you look at the various people that make up the Idaho 4 story, like Ethan Chapin, one of the victims. He was majoring in some athletic department major. You also had several athletes like Jack DeCore, the tennis star, Adam Lauda, basketball player, Saeed, the wrestler. I mean, there were many others. And there were rumors that some of them were allegedly taking steroids, okay? And I've mentioned that steroids could have possibly been part of this story. I mean, it's very possible the frats would have been getting it in quantities to support themselves as well as their friends, and maybe they were getting narcotics that they had been selling. We've heard rumors of that going on at 1122 King Road. Maybe that was the retail outlet or the warehouse or both. And all of that is pure speculation and, of course, alleged. Now, Timmy Reid's attorney asked the university to respond to his request by Friday, May 3rd for an investigation into the allegations of people who were there at the party. So I'm recording this on May 3rd. It doesn't come out until Sunday, but we may have a response by the time this video comes out, but I'll keep my eyes open for that. Now, Astoria, Moscow wouldn't be quite the same without some sort of drama involving the Moscow Police Department, right? So the University of Idaho comes up with this statement that since the crime happened off campus, they're going to put everything into the hands of the Moscow PD. I mean, are you kidding me? What about 1122 King Road? Did we forget all about that? That's just as off campus as Timmy Reid's party, okay? Now, we all know how Scott Green, the university president, was immersed in the Idaho 4 investigation from day one. He was all over it. He was attending 2 meetings a day with the police to stay up on this investigation. Then he ends up writing a book and incorporates the Idaho 4 crimes into it. How he wasn't bound by that gag order, being so closely immersed in this case, is beyond me. And he still is. They were using the University of Idaho podiums when they did the police press conferences. Scott Green spoke at the press conferences. How is he not bound by that same gag order? It's ridiculous. The Moscow PD claims they're close to wrapping up their investigation of the Timmy Reid assault. I'm not sure what sort of legal issues that a mob of 40 people with masks and pipes in their hand could get themselves into. I don't know, maybe mob action? I have no idea. But as of now, no charges have been filed, no arrests have been made. And if the football players are in fraternities, then it's very possible not a whole lot's going to happen. Now, we seem to notice that in other incidents around the university. In addition, I'm sure that football players are probably among the protected class at any university. Now, Timmy Reid's lawyer expressed his concern about the issue not being resolved and more violence happening because of it. The athletic director, Terry Golick, declined to comment on what was going on his end. But this is far from the only act of violence going on campuses across the country. Why fraternities and sororities are allowed to continue is really beyond me. There are many colleges and universities that have banned them from campus because of the hazing deaths and other related incidents due to excessive alcohol, substance abuse, or both. It's rampant. The Thought Riot podcast had mentioned that 50% of fraternity members leave college addicted to alcohol, substances, or both. That is awful. That needs to stop. Now, I'm going to be doing a live today. That's Sunday, May 5th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central, right here on this channel. And I'm going to be doing that with Russ Moore, the subscriber who brought the "could they still be alive" theory to me. And we're going to discuss it. We're going to get into other Idaho 4 stuff. So if you're interested, Come by 4 to 6 p.m. Check it out. I'll be answering your questions. Those are a lot of fun. We've had some good ones so far. I'm doing these every Sunday. So come back and check it out. Comment below with your thoughts. Love to hear what you guys have to say. I do want to say thank you to all my friends at the Horns High Club. You guys are amazing. I hope you love the perks that come with membership. I know the one that most people like the best is getting the videos as soon as I upload them. So I'm sure that's cool, and I appreciate that support. And all of you guys that watch these videos, thank you very much. And we'll see you next time for another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder.